Welcome future communication professionals! Today we are going to talk about the Stappers communication model. Therefore we will apply the new const ABX model. Let's start with a sender and a receiver. A as the sender and B as the receiver. Quite simple, right? This means that we are not using the letters A and B for the same person, but for the same activity. To simplify things, in our case, let's call A Julia and B Carmen. Let us show the whole communication model first. The red X symbolizes the statement wrapped in the message, also known as the box. It is what is said about the subject, so it contains the content. The big blue X symbolizes the subject, like for example the weather. However, the weather itself does not take part in the conversation. If Julia and Carmen have a conversation about a friend and a friend overhears the conversation, he is no longer an X, but he becomes a receiver and takes role B. In this scene we are gonna visualize that the statement is intangible. The girls are having a conversation about the weather but can't touch it. So the blue X is intangible. In the communication model there are two separate processes. The communication process and the information process. Now let's see the communication process. The communication process explains that A deliberately constructs a message, but it does not necessarily mean that B gains information out of the message. The message is tangible and available for everyone. The second part of the communication model is the information process. The receiver is exposed to the information source sent by role A. What this information is does not only depend on the situation, but also on the receiver himself.
Now here is a question for you. Remember the answer will start with a Q. Just think of a duck.
There is a possibility that the receiver doesn't gain any information out of the source.
No, Grover.
Even though the sender might not send a message deliberately, the receiver might still use it as an information source and gain information out of it. Let's look at this daily life example. If we put everything together what we just learned, we got the communication event. To make things easier, we made the next sketch, where it's clearly shown that the role of the sender and the receiver can be switched, meaning that one person can act as both, A as well as B. In the next example, we will see that the one person can be P, A and X at the same time. Julia is the sender while writing in her diary and is writing about herself, meaning she is the subject. If Julia reads it back later, she will be the receiver. Thank you, future communication professionals. This is the end. I hope you learned something.